And after, I did some of my biggest sins after I got saved. And I fell away in some of the darkest things. I casted out demons. I saw rooms full of demons getting cast out. I've seen miracles. There's been angels, everything. And I still fell away. There was a rock star named Marilyn Manson. You know, people in their 30s and 40s usually know who he was in his heyday. We lived that life. We would go into clubs, 5 or 6 of us, and all of us would get thrown out at different times for, fights, drugs, no matter what. And I'd go out and party with all my friends, and we'd go backstage at shows, and we'd do all these drugs, but they would leave home with their girlfriends. And it would really upset me, and it festered in me. And I was living life just to hate God. I hated him. I thought, hey, you made me this way, and I'm gonna pay you back. So we would do every drug, every, orgies, you name it,
Hi, welcome to Touching the Afterlife. Our guest today is Steve. Steve has a unique and encouraging testimony, one of hope for the hopeless, a true prodigal son story. He fell deep into rebellion for years, even to the point of suicide. So let's find out how God brought him back to restoration. Welcome, Steve. Thank you for being with me today.
First of all, I like to always start out. My testimony is already on different platforms, and it's reaching quite a bit. I have a mailbox full of suicidal prodigals, people that have fallen away because they think they blaspheme the Holy Ghost. Basically, I want to make a disclaimer that God rescues wicked people, homosexuals from lives of sin in the millions. He did it to me. But my major thing that I'm going for when I'm doing this testimony is not only the wickedness that I was, that God transformed me, but I'm trying to show you that even after, I did some of my biggest sins after I got saved. And I fell away in some of the darkest things. I'm going to keep it very G-rated. I have people that contact me all the time that I tell different, elements of those stories in a higher fashion of X-rated. But the thing is that my testimony is a testament of mercy. And it shows that no matter how far you've gone, because I casted out demons. I saw rooms full of demons getting cast out. I've seen miracles. There's been angels, everything. And I still fell away. And I still went into absolute rebellion. So I'm doing this testimony not only because of prophetic utterance and people that have seen me doing it, but to help the other person on the side of that screen that is no doubt looking up verses like Hebrews 10:26, Hebrews 6, thinking they can't come back to God. Some of my friends have got to this and they've committed suicide. They've died in their sins. So that is what the basis of the testimony that I'm going for on this is. Now, my basic salvation testimony is not all that, exciting. I'm going to go into that now. I grew up in Florida in the time of, there was a rock star named Marilyn Manson. People in their 30s and 40s usually know who he was in his heyday. He was very big. From about 14 to about 20, I lived in Florida and I had access to friends of mine that were pushing like hundreds of pounds of marijuana, cocaine, heroin, you name it. My dad was overseas. My mother worked for a computer company. We had a lot of money. We were very like upper middle class. And I got dropped out in the 9th grade and I did nothing but the most debaucherous partying you can think of. We would go to 5 concerts a month. We would meet rock stars. I mean, there would be, I had a lunchbox. And I used to carry narcotics and lighter fluid, and we would go around setting fires. I mean, just to give a little bit of an indication, when I was 17, I took 5 hits of LSD and I lit like 20 acres of woods on fire outside of my house, lost my virginity to a guy and a girl the same week, to let you know what level of sin that I was in. Now, I'm not saying that to glorify it, I'm saying it as a testimony of where I am now. I was in and out of psychiatric hospitals at the time. I mean, we lived that life. We would go into clubs, 5 or 6 of us, and all of us would get thrown out at different times for, fights, drugs, no matter what. And
make room for more food. 2 or more medium 2-topping pizzas from Domino's, just $6.99